Okay, we're going to start this episode with a kind of warning preface. There are some people who claim that Christ is not God. They believe that He paid for their sins, and they believe that they're saved because of that. And they are. But your belief in your salvation depends on Him being God. It wouldn't have worked if He wasn't God. Because the person who pays God for sins has to himself be God in order to have the requisite status to be the mediator. That's what Job is talking about. Where's the Job verse? Right here. I know my Redeemer lives. All right? That's what Job is talking about. That's what Christ says. It's not showing up here, but that's what Christ says in eternity past in 1 Timothy 2:5. In 1 Timothy 2:5 in the Greek, there are no verbs. It's hais karteos, hais mesites. Okay, he's talking about himself. That means there is one united God. United and one are the same word. God is united. God is, triune. And then there's one mediator. Mesites in Greek means mediator. He is claiming to be that mediator and redeemer, and he has to be God in order to be that redeemer. And that is a claim he makes in Matthew 20 and Mark 10. Of course, these are parallel verses. All right? They're the only two verses in the New Testament using the key word in Greek for being the Redeemer, which is lutron. Okay? And that's part of the problem people have because they're using English Bibles, and so they can't find these things. That's why I'm giving you this information now. All these verses up here, you can see in English, say that the Redeemer is God. So you can see that. God is the Redeemer. Okay? Christ is claiming to be the Redeemer. And you can see that right here. Okay? So he has to be God. It's another way of Christ claiming to be God. Now, I'm going to give you some Greek word names, and I'm going to show it to you on screen in BibleWorks in a second, that go with lutron, so that you can even download eSword for free. If you can search on the Greek in it, I'm not sure you can. To find these words, it's lutrosis, apolutrosis, lutroo is the verb, and in English you can even find these words if you search on redeem, ransom, redeemer, redeeming. Use different forms of the verb. Okay, redeem, redeemer, redeeming, redeems. Okay, ransoms, pays for. Think like a thesaurus when you read the Bible. The reason why you got to do that is because the Bible is using keywords from the Hebrew and Greek. And sometimes it's using more than one keyword because it works theoretically, even in the original languages. But more than that, when the English translators go to translate it, they'll take the same Bible word and give it different English words, so you don't know that the Bible is tracing the same word. And if you're trying to trace, the two best Bibles to use for English tracing of these words would be the King James Version or the New American Standard, because they try to translate the same Hebrew or Greek word the same way, but they don't always do it that way. They try. Okay, the other Bibles are more interested in giving you the comprehension. All right, so they're harder to use when you're trying to trace words. So, look at this, pause the screen if you need to look up the verses. So, take a look at that. The Redeemer has to be God. Christ has to be God, or you don't have a salvation. Now, you didn't have to believe He was God to be saved. You do have to believe He's God in order to understand your salvation. And if you don't understand your salvation, you'll never grow up. Okay? So if you're, Jehovah Witness or some of these other groups who think that Christ isn't God, you're never going to grow up spiritually. You'll always be a spiritual retard until you learn this. Okay, now we're back in Bible Works, and I want to show you Bible support for what I just told you. Okay, see? Here's a sample. You can see it in those verses I just showed you in the citations. But here's a simple one. Okay, Israel, hope in the Lord there is. This is chesed, and that's a famous word that's used in Psalm 23, translated loving kindness usually, and that's a good translation. Mercy is another translation that's common. And then with him is abundant redemption. Now, the Hebrew word for redemption is padah. Okay, see how it means ransom, rescue, and deliver? Those are your thesaurus terms to look up in English. See, ransom? Christ it claims himself the ransom in Matthew 20. That Matthew 20 passage, the Mark 10 passage. He uses the word ransom, and it's a Hebraism for padah. Okay, that's redemption. It's one of the redemption keywords in the Mosaic Law. Okay? So padah is redemption. And that's this word right here, padet. Padut. Sorry. Alright? And this word highlighted in yellow, lutrosis, is the Greek equivalent. So if you're searching in Hebrew and Greek, search on those terms. They're not the only Hebrew and Greek terms that are used, however. Psalm 49:7. Okay, let's pull this up. Alright. This is a very strong verse saying no human being can redeem the life of another. See, this is a statement explaining why Christ has to be mediator. That's the 1 Timothy 2:5 verse. Okay? No mere man can redeem. Okay? You have to be equal to God to be able to give to God what's equal to God. Alright, see, remember it says in Hebrews 7 through 10, Christ is the high priest forever, Kata Melchizedek. In order to be high priest, he has to be God and man. He has to be as big and as good as God. And he also has to be humanity, because it isn't God who owes the debt. It's humanity that owes the debt. So by uniting humanity in himself, then all humanity can be paid for and be in him. All sin is therefore paid for in his humanity. And therefore in his humanity, he's high priest forever, Kata Melchizedek. Okay, that's a new priesthood. That's an eternal priesthood. That's the priesthood that we church have. It is a separate covenant from Israel. It is not Israel's covenant. Israel still has her covenant. God never abandons Israel. Her covenant's just on hold until church completes. That's what the book of Hebrews is about. But notice, no man can redeem the life of another or give God a ransom for him. All right, that's the best translation of the ones that that's showing. Okay, all right, and then the Hebrew to show ransom here, all right, is still padah, like we just saw. See, padah. That's the Strong's entry, and that's right here. Well, wait a minute. Oh, that can't be right. Kafer. Oh, this is to cover. This is cover. This is to cover him, to pay for him. Okay, kafer is the famous atonement word. All right. And then here's padah in the Hebrew. It's padah. All right, to ransom. All right. And see this Hebrew word lo? That means not. Not at all. It's a strong negation. Not redeeming. To cause to redeem. Okay. Ish. Man. Okay. And then no man. This is cannot give. That's no again. And that's give. Yiti. Alright. Now Isaiah 53 by contrast says that the servant redeems us. That's in Isaiah 53:10. In fact, that's the contract. There's a contract of redemption. And it says, you can read that even in English. It's clearer in the Hebrew. So that's a contract between Christ, okay, as God, and Father as God. In Isaiah 53:10, you got Yahuwah Chafetz, that's God the Father, and then you got Chafetz Yahuwah, that's God the Son, and then he says Bayado Yitzla, talking about his hand, because he's going to take on humanity. That's in Isaiah 53:10. All right? So, see, he has to be God, and it's a contract of eternity past made between God and God, that the second God, Christ, is going to take on humanity and pay that ransom. He has to be God to do that.